So first things first, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there right now that are currently watching this video, and if it's not Thanksgiving for you, I still am wishing you a very awesome day, and hopefully all of you have a great day or night whenever you watch this video. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what's been kind of going on for the past, I say 8 hours for the My Hero Academia community, mainly the manga community for My Hero Academia. So just as a brief FYI, basically a lot of the My Hero Academia community is pretty upset. Because earlier this morning, some leaks came out for MHA, My Hero Academia, for its upcoming chapter, and it's not looking too good. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I'm not going to reveal it yet because for spoiler reasons, if you do not want to be spoiled for some of the things that's going to happen in the upcoming chapter, and you are a anime only, I do recommend you not to carry on, because if you don't want to be spoiled, you should stop here, because it's some pretty big stuff. Like, it really is crazy, and the only reason why I'm talking about it is because I couldn't really get away from it. Like, literally, I was like, I saw My Hero Academia trending, and then I saw it all over my social media talking about it. I was like, well, okay, I guess, I got spoiled about it. So it's gonna be kind of tricky to really title this video and not spoil people on it. But, all I'm saying is, if you don't want to be spoiled, like I said, click off the video now, because I don't want to spoil you. It's a pretty big deal. So anyways, with the disclaimer out of the way, I guess let's talk about what happened and why the community is upset. Well, for starters, the traitor. The long, dragged-out plot thread since, like, Season 3, since, like, Chapter 50, 60, somewhere on there, like, very early on, basically, ever since the very beginning of the manga, that plot thread of a traitor in UA was finally revealed in the upcoming chapter. And the traitor is, let's just say, it's so, the traitor is Toru, the invisible girl. And the thing about it is that it's predictable. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say that just because it's predictable doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. I'm going to say that first. Before I go any further, I just want to make sure that is very clear. Because sometimes predictability is a good thing. It means that the author has set things up to where it led to that outcome. Where it led to where, like, yeah, okay, you know, it makes sense why this individual is a traitor. You know, foreshadowing. That's a big deal. It's a really important thing. And I feel like people don't understand that sometimes, is that when an author throws in some foreshadowing here and there, and it becomes predictable, it's because the author has set it up like that, which is good. It shows that the author is following the narrative of what they've done, and those that pay attention to certain little key elements will pick up on that and notice it, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, so this happened. So predictability doesn't, like I said, mean it's bad. However, we need to talk about the reason why it was predictable that it was Invisible Girl Toru and not other characters like Kaminari, Kirishima, Mina, Mineta, etc. You know, even Izuku, since he has the vestage realm, you know, we need to talk about, like, why, you know, it's so obvious for Invisible Girl to be it, and why it would have been better for other characters. For one, Toru is, how can I say it, probably the weakest character in UA. In terms of our main Class A characters, she is probably easily one of the weakest in terms of characterization and development. Even Koda has had more development than Toru, which says enough about that. So, because of that circumstance, that's why it was predictable. It's because she was so disconnected from everyone else, and we don't really have an actual attachment with the character, because let's just be 100% with each other. The only reason some care about her is because she's a female character, and she's technically for fan service in a certain way, a different type of fan service. That's really it. Besides that, there's really nothing else that her character has brought to the table. I mean, she has a quirk that's invisible. That's about it, and she really hasn't participated in major battles or fights in the story. I mean, she didn't even really help bring back Izuku, so everything falls into place for her actually being, you know, a traitor to UA. But the thing is the reason why we think she was a traitor was because there was no development given to her. That's the problem. And that's the problem I feel like many of the community is having a current problem with. Is that it's not just because it was predictable. It's because it was so weak. because the character, it won't give you an emotional twist. Like, holy crap, this character is actually a traitor after everything we've been through. Like, let's put this on hypothetical, okay? If it would have been, let's say, Kaminari, if it would have been Mina, Mineta, anyone, Ida, any of the characters, okay, any other student a part of UA, it would have shook the entire community. There would have been some controversy, obviously, but it would have been very fascinating to see a character that we have seen grow alongside of our characters turn out to be a traitor. But throwing in Toru, that's an invisible girl that we have no attachment to whatsoever, we don't get that emotional, connection with them. We don't care, really. It's like, oh, okay, they're the traitor. Let's just see what's going to go on now. Now that we're finally seeing that they're the traitor, we're going to get development for them. And I feel like that's a sad way to really deal with that plot point. And once again, the traitor plot thread has been dragged for a long time. And I am happy that it is getting settled. I do want to clarify that. But the thing is that it's so... it feels rushed. Which is the very thing I was talking about in my last My Hero Academia video, is that My Hero Academia feels like it's just speed blitzing itself towards the ending, and Horikoshi-sensei is just trying to write up and close off every plot thread that he can before the series concludes, which I do appreciate that. I do appreciate at least he's trying to settle everything, and I'm happy. But it doesn't change the fact, though, is there could have been so much more going on with that, so much more lead up in development for Toru actually being the traitor. I mean, obviously people are going to bring up that she was the one that encouraged the entire group to go to the mall, and that was when Izuku really first encountered Shigaraki, and Shigaraki put, his hand around Izuku's neck. I mean, you could say that was set up from then and there, but even then, it's just such a... Even if it's good foreshadowing to a certain extent, once again, I want to point out that just there's no development for Toru as a character, which is my major issue for it. Another thing, too, from the, leaks from the chapter is that Toga, she's with Shigaraki and All For One, which is just a huge, question mark, because it's like... The way everything's been written for the past few arcs, it implied that Toga was going to be going through a lot of development. It implied that she was going to probably get back at, anyone, like, Ochiko, or meet up with Izuku or something, or she infiltrated UA, there was a lot of things about that, just showcasing that she was missing and disconnected from the League of Villains, but she randomly appears in the upcoming chapter, and she's just there, and I hope we get more context of that, but the thing is it seems like that entire plot thread might have been abandoned, or just skipped over, just to put her with the League of Villains and all that, and that's sad if that's indeed the case, because there's just so much build-up for, Toga's character with, Ochiko, which, once again, just goes back to the point I made in my video previously this week. I feel like there's a lot of editor meddling going on. I really do. I know I don't have any evidence for that. I know Horikoshi-sensei did get a new editor, like, a few arcs back, but... even then, I feel like there is some editor meddling going on, either to change things up to make My Hero Academia different or something, maybe that's what the editor's thinking, or, they're just wanting to really speed this up and get this series over before they can throw in a new manga series to replace My Hero Academia, which is crazy, but at the same time, Shonen Jump has been very weird and for a while now when it comes to manga, so who really knows what's going on behind the scenes? It's saddening, honestly. Like, the upcoming leaks, it's just, like, it could lead to something good. I don't want to be doom and gloom only, but it does make me worry, because just getting that traitor plot like that, and then getting Toga there, but it pretty much confirms that, the pacing of the manga is just speed blitzing towards the end. But yeah, that's just pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I'm conflicted. I gotta actually read the chapter when it fully comes out, obviously, but I've taken a good look at the leaks and stuff, so yeah, I know what to expect of the upcoming chapter, but hopefully more of it is expanded upon. I really hope so, because it's just like, yikes. It's a pretty big yikes, honestly, but... we'll see. I'm going to leave my opinion there, and I'll see when the chapter comes out this upcoming weekend. But I love you all. Thank you so much for watching the video. And anyone that tuned in and all that, leave me a like on the video if you want more of my content to appear in your YouTube feed. And also subscribe and hit that bell icon down below. Once again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And if it's not Thanksgiving, also still have a wonderful day. But be safe, everyone. Chibi out.